Welcome back to the quiet of the evening, that soft edge of time when the world has gone still and the universe begins to hum again. Close your eyes, let the day dissolve. You are not falling away from the world. You are rising into it, floating upward into the dark sea of space where every shimmer is a story, every silence a secret. Out here, there are no walls, no clocks, no sound, only distance and light. And within that light lies everything. The stars you see tonight are not where they appear. Their light has been travelling for years, centuries, sometimes eons, crossing oceans of space just to reach your eyes. Each one is a message from the past, a memory of what once was, still burning in the present. Space is not empty. Even the darkest reaches hold particles drifting through, lonely but endless. Hydrogen atoms, cosmic dust, fragments of forgotten stars. There are trillions of them between every star, invisible threads weaving the fabric of existence. When you look at the Milky Way, that pale river of silver across the sky, you are looking at our home galaxy from within. It stretches more than 100,000 light years across, a vast spiral of suns and worlds turning in patient silence. Our solar system lies halfway out on one of its arms, orbiting the galactic centre once every 200 million years. We have made only a handful of orbits since the Earth was born. To the galaxy, our entire history has passed in a blink. The Sun, the quiet star that lights our days, is one among billions. It burns at 15 million degrees in its heart, fusing hydrogen into helium, turning mass into energy with perfect precision. Every second, it releases more power than all human civilization has ever used. And yet, it is calm, a middle-aged star, neither too large nor too small. Its warmth is what allows oceans to shimmer and winds to move across the surface of our blue world. The light that falls on your skin today began its journey in the sun's core 10,000 years ago, drifting slowly outward before racing across space in 8 minutes to find you. The space between Earth and the Sun is filled with the solar wind, a stream of charged particles flowing outward in all directions. It shapes magnetic fields, paints the sky with auroras, and creates the invisible border we call the heliosphere, the Sun's bubble of influence. Beyond that border lies interstellar space, the region between stars, where the Sun's breath fades and the galaxy's great ocean begins. There, the Voyager probes are still drifting, carrying messages from Earth engraved in gold, sailing farther from home than any human-made object has ever gone. When those Voyagers turn their cameras back toward the Sun, our entire world becomes a pale dot of light, a single pixel suspended in darkness. It was Carl Sagan who looked at that dot and whispered, "That's home." And in that small dot lies everything, every song, every love, every dream. The planets around us are our companions. In the dark, each one a different story, written in stone and ice. Mercury, closest to the Sun, swings through its orbit in just 88 days. Its surface bakes in heat, then freezes in shadow. A world of silence, scarred by impact and time. Venus, wrapped in thick clouds, hides a surface hotter than any furnace on Earth. Its air is poison, its sky an ocean of acid, yet once, long ago, it might have known oceans of water too. Earth, our oasis, is rare not because it is alone, but because it is alive. Its atmosphere is thin, fragile, balanced between heat and cold, sunlight and shadow. Every blade of grass, every wave, every breath depends on that balance. Beyond us drifts Mars, cold and rust-red, its deserts carved by ancient rivers, its poles capped with frozen carbon dioxide. We've sent machines there to wander and watch, to listen to the wind that whispers over stone. Someday, perhaps, we may follow. And beyond Mars, the giants. Jupiter, a planet of storms, spinning so fast that a day there lasts less than 10 hours. Its great red spot has raged for centuries. A hurricane larger than our entire planet. Saturn, ringed and serene, its frozen rings made of shattered moons and dust. From afar, it looks like a painting, the very image of order and grace. Then Uranus, tipped on its side like a rolling marble, its seasons stretching for decades. And Neptune, blue and distant, where winds howl faster than sound. Past them all lies the Kuiper Belt, a region of icy remnants, ancient fragments of the early solar system. There, Pluto drifts through a long and lonely orbit, its surface carved by nitrogen ice and shadowed mountains. Even farther still are the comets, icy wanderers from the edges of the solar system. When they fall toward the sun, they grow bright tails of vapor and dust, like thoughts illuminated before fading again into the dark. Everything, from dust to stars, moves in slow harmony. Nothing is still. Even the galaxy itself is gliding through space at hundreds of kilometers per second, carried by the motion of everything around it. And yet to you, lying here beneath the stars, it all feels perfectly still. That stillness is the miracle. The universe is moving, and you are moving with it. If you could rise from Earth, beyond the clouds, beyond the thin veil of air that shields and feeds us, you would see the truth of the world, a fragile sphere wrapped in blue and light, floating in silence. From the window of space, the Earth glows softly, white clouds swirling over oceans of deep blue, the continents like veins of gold and green. You would see no borders, no lines, no noise, only a living marble suspended in blackness. And that blackness is not nothing. It is filled with light so faint the eye cannot see it. The cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in existence, still whispering across time from the birth of everything. That faint glow is the after-image of creation, the memory of the Big Bang, stretched by the expansion of space into a gentle radio wave that fills every inch of the sky. Every direction you look, that ancient light surrounds you. The Big Bang was not an explosion in space. It was the expansion of space itself. In its first instant, smaller than an atom, the universe bloomed, a flower of energy, unfolding faster than light, filling itself with matter and time. And from that blooming, everything began. The first atoms formed, hydrogen and helium, the simplest elements. They gathered, cooled, and fell together under gravity's patient pull. Stars ignited from that gathering, their light piercing the cosmic night. Each of those first stars burned fiercely, lived briefly, and died in brilliance, scattering heavier elements into the void. From those ashes, new stars were born. And around them, planets. You, the listener, the dreamer beneath this sky, are built from those stars. The calcium in your teeth, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your breath. All of it forged in the death of suns. When you look upward, you are not looking into distance, you are looking into your own origin. The night sky is an ocean, and every star is a wave. The galaxies beyond are islands too far to reach, yet their light still finds you, even across billions of years. Some of that light began its journey before Earth existed, before the sun was born, before there were eyes to see. And tonight, it ends in yours. The most distant object we have ever seen lies more than 13 billion light years away. A galaxy shining when the universe was young. Its light began before our atoms had even formed, before any thought, before life itself. To see that light is to see time itself. Every star, every planet, every moment of warmth and shadow is part of a single, continuous story. The story of energy becoming matter, matter becoming life, and life becoming wonder. We are not outside the story, watching. We are the story, reading itself aloud. The universe is not something happening around you, it is something happening through you. You are made of it, moved by it, carried within it. And as you breathe now, slow, steady, soft, the same elements that drift through nebulae move through you too. The same hydrogen that fills the stars burns quietly inside every living thing. Every moment you're exchanging atoms with the cosmos. Every exhale carries away pieces of the universe that will someday form something new. It has always been this way. Creation and return, light and dark, rise and rest. The universe is a rhythm, and you are one of its heartbeats. So rest now, here, beneath the cosmic sea. You are floating within infinity. The stars are watching, and they recognize you. Because to them, you are starlight, remembering what it means to shine. The night sky you see is only a handful of stars in one small corner of one galaxy. But beyond that, beyond sight and sound, lie billions more. Rivers of galaxies flowing through space, each one a vast archipelago of suns. The Milky Way, our home, is a spiral of light 100,000 light-years wide. Its arms curl gracefully through darkness, glowing with the birth and death of stars. In its heart lies a black hole, a still point around which everything turns. We cannot see it directly, but we can feel its presence. Stars whirl around it at incredible speed, caught in its gravity's embrace, dancing at the edge of nothingness. Black holes are not holes at all. They are places where matter has fallen inward beyond return, where space folds so sharply that even light cannot climb out. And yet they are part of the universe's balance, the dark anchors that hold galaxies together. Around them, the fabric of space-time bends like silk. When light passes near, it curves, twisting into rings called Einstein halos, a vision of gravity itself sculpting the path of light. Sometimes, when two galaxies collide, their stars do not crash. They pass through each other, guided by the invisible hands of gravity. Their gas and dust mix, awakening new generations of stars, brighter and bluer than the ones before. Galaxies grow from these cosmic encounters, merging and reshaping, building new spirals from the remnants of the old. The Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large neighbour, is already moving toward us. In 4 billion years, it will meet the Milky Way. They will not destroy each other, they will become one. Two great spirals merging into a single, glowing form, their stars weaving new patterns in the dark. When galaxies form, they begin as clouds, vast spheres of gas cooling under gravity's pull. Within those clouds, small knots condense, ignite, and become stars. One by one, they light the darkness until a galaxy is born, a collection of countless suns drifting together like a slow tide. Some galaxies are spirals, arms reaching gracefully through space. Others are elliptical, smooth, featureless, ancient. Some are irregular, broken shapes scattered by collisions and time. All of them shine with the same quiet purpose: to exist, to burn, to drift. And in the spaces between them, darkness flows like water. The universe is not a still pond, but a moving sea, its galaxies like luminous leaves carried by invisible currents. If you could step back far enough, farther than any telescope can see, the galaxies would form a pattern, a web stretching across the universe. Long filaments of light connect them, forming clusters and superclusters, while in between, enormous voids yawn like the breath of creation itself. This is the cosmic web, the largest structure we know, woven from both light and the unseen matter that holds it all together. Every thread, every knot, every glowing point is a galaxy, and every galaxy is a home for worlds uncountable. Somewhere, in one of those distant spirals, another sun may shine on another sea, another sky, another version of wonder. The light from those galaxies travels for billions of years, crossing an expanding universe, just to arrive here, faint, delayed, but still pure. When you gaze upward, you are seeing light that began before Earth was born. You are seeing the ancient heartbeats of galaxies still turning in the dark. Even now, as you rest beneath the stars, that light is still coming. The universe still sending you messages from its farthest corners. Every shimmer, every flicker, every faint glint of silver is the echo of something impossibly far, impossibly old. The universe speaks softly, but it never stops speaking. You need only to listen. In the silence of space, stars are born. Not suddenly, but slowly, over millions of years, from clouds of dust and gas so vast that they would swallow our solar system whole. These clouds drift in the arms of galaxies, silent, invisible, until a spark ignites within. Gravity gathers their atoms closer, pulling them inward, tighter and tighter, until pressure and heat awaken fusion. A star begins to breathe. It starts small, hidden within its cocoon, glowing red, then gold, then white. Light pours outward. The surrounding gas glows, forming a nebula, a luminous cradle where stars are born. Some nebulae are calm and cloud-like, soft as smoke. Others blaze with colour, pinks and blues, emerald greens, violet veils of hydrogen and helium, illuminated by newborn suns. Their light travels through the dark like lullabies for galaxies. The Orion Nebula, visible even to the naked eye, is one such nursery, a region where thousands of stars are forming together, each one a future sun with its own potential worlds. If you could float there, the light would shimmer around you like an ocean. Dust would drift like mist, and everywhere there would be motion, gentle, patient, endless. From those same clouds come planets. As a star forms, the leftover dust gathers into a disk, spinning around it. Tiny grains collide, stick together, grow larger. Rocks become mountains, mountains become worlds. In this way, planets are the quiet children of stars. They are the universe's way of giving light a place to land. Some are rocky, like ours, solid and close to their suns, warm enough for oceans and rain. Others are giants, shrouded in storms, swirling with ammonia and methane. Some are frozen and far, locked in eternal twilight. And then there are the worlds that are not tied to any sun at all, rogue planets, drifting alone between the stars. Cold, silent, unseen, they wander through space for billions of years, carrying with them the echoes of the systems they once knew. Even the smallest dust particle floating in the dark carries memory of the light that warmed it, the explosion that created it, the star that gave it form. The universe wastes nothing. Everything that exists is part of a cycle: creation, transformation, return. When a star dies, it does not vanish. It becomes something else. A small star may fade into a white dwarf, a glowing ember that will cool slowly until it is invisible. A massive star ends in violence, a supernova. In a single moment, it releases more energy than billions of suns will produce in their lifetimes. And from that explosion come new elements: iron, gold, carbon, the building blocks of everything that follows. Every time a star dies, the universe becomes richer, more complex. The atoms that will one day form new worlds, new oceans, new lives, are scattered across the cosmos, waiting for gravity to draw them together again. The air you breathe was forged in fire. The light that warms your face began in fusion. Every heartbeat is a continuation of a cycle that began long before there was time to count it. Even now, stars are being born in the quiet corners of the universe, their light still on its way to us. Light that will not arrive for millions of years, long after our own world has changed and changed again. The universe is always becoming. It never stops. It never hurries. It never sleeps. And yet somehow it feels alive, not in motion, but in meaning. Each star, each world, each grain of dust is part of something vast and patient, an eternal rhythm that hums beneath everything. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it, the low, slow breath of creation, moving through galaxies, through light, through you. There is a kind of light that cannot be seen. It fills the universe completely, even in the emptiest corners where stars have never formed. It is not the light of fire or flame, but the faint echo of the beginning, the cosmic microwave background, still humming through every particle of space. When the universe was young, it glowed fiercely, filled with radiation, too bright for atoms to exist. As it expanded, it cooled, and that blinding fire stretched into a whisper, a uniform glow of microwaves that we can still detect today. That glow tells us the universe is nearly 14 billion years old, still expanding, still cooling, still singing its ancient song in frequencies too low for ears to hear. This is the background hum of everything. Even when all stars fade, that echo will remain, faint and endless, like breath through the lungs of time. Between the stars and galaxies lies another mystery, dark matter. It has no light, no colour, no heat. We cannot see it, yet it outweighs everything visible. It moves galaxies, bends light, sculpts the universe's shape. Scientists know it must exist because of its pull, the way galaxies spin faster than they should, held together by invisible threads. And yet we do not know what it is. It might be particles that pass through us every second, unseen, untouched, uncounted. It is the silent framework on which the visible universe hangs. Then there is dark energy, even more mysterious. It is not a force that pulls, but one that pushes, stretching space itself. It makes galaxies drift apart faster and faster, carrying them away until the night between them becomes infinite. No one knows where it comes from or why it grows stronger. But because of it, the universe is not only expanding, it is accelerating, moving outward forever. The night sky, quiet and calm, is in truth a grand, slow unfurling, a cosmic breath expanding into eternity. And yet within all this darkness, there are places of impossible brightness. When black holes feed, when gas and dust spiral into their depths, they release vast amounts of light, more than entire galaxies. Around those hungry hearts form quasars, brilliant beacons shining from the edge of the observable universe. Their light has travelled for billions of years, crossing the growing fabric of space. When you look at them through telescopes, you are seeing galaxies as they were before our sun even existed. There are also pulsars, collapsed stars spinning with furious precision, sending out beams of radio waves like cosmic lighthouses. Each pulse is a heartbeat of a dead sun, regular as clockwork, marking the rhythm of space itself. And there are magnetars, even stranger, stars whose magnetic fields are so strong they could erase every digital signal on Earth from halfway across the galaxy. They are rare, violent, and beautiful in their silence. But the strangest light of all may be gravitational waves, ripples in space-time itself, created when massive objects move or collide. They pass through everything, bending space for the briefest moment. When black holes merge, they send these waves across the universe, like deep notes in a cosmic symphony. We only began to hear them recently. Our instruments, trembling softly, as the universe itself vibrated with ancient motion. It is proof that space is not still. It moves, it breathes, it remembers. Every atom, every particle, every flicker of energy hums with that memory. You are part of that hum. Your atoms born in light, your mind made of the same quiet motion that ripples through galaxies. You too are a wave moving through the fabric of time. Out in the deep, far beyond the edge of sight, lie the quiet builders of the cosmos. Forces so steady and vast that they shape everything, yet never speak. Gravity is one of them. It has no sound, no light, no voice, yet it orders the universe. It draws stars together, forms galaxies, gathers dust into planets, and holds moons in their slow dance around worlds. It binds the ocean to earth, the earth to the sun to the Milky Way. It is invisible, yet it is everywhere. You feel it in the pull of the ground, in the weight of your body, in the curve of a planet's horizon. The same force that holds you now holds the stars in their paths. Every orbit is a conversation between motion and gravity, the endless falling that becomes flight. Planets do not circle their stars because they're trapped, but because they are falling perfectly sideways, forever missing the surface they orbit. That balance is what makes everything move in harmony. In the same way, light bends in the presence of mass, drawn not by force, but by the shape of space-time itself. This is relativity, the truth that space and time are not separate things, but one single fabric. Mass stretches it, light follows its curves. A beam of light leaving a star will not travel in a straight line, but in an arc, through the warped shape of the universe. Every massive object leaves a soft indentation in the flow of time. Even you, where you sit now, bends space-time slightly, a small ripple in the grand ocean of existence. When Einstein first imagined this, he was describing a kind of music, the geometry of being. And every massive thing, from planets to black holes, plays a note in that music simply by existing. The largest of all are supermassive black holes, millions or billions of times heavier than the Sun. Every large galaxy has one at its heart. They are both destroyers and creators, regulating the rhythm of star formation, balancing growth and collapse. Their gravity pulls gas and dust inward, heating it until it glows. Some of that light escapes, carrying energy across the cosmos. In that way, even a black hole, a place from which light cannot escape, gives light back to the universe. Closer to home, other invisible forces work quietly. Magnetism, the twin of electricity, weaves through stars and planets alike. The Earth's magnetic field shields us from solar winds, guiding compasses, painting the sky with auroras that shimmer like curtains of fire. The same magnetism spins through the Sun, shaping its flares and storms, sending waves of particles across the solar system. Even the faintest breath of air around our planet carries the trace of cosmic origin. Every molecule in the atmosphere, every drop of water in the sea, once drifted through the dark before being gathered here. And above it all, unseen but constant, the universe continues to expand, space itself stretching, carrying galaxies farther apart. There is no center to this expansion. Every point moves away from every other point, like raisins rising in a loaf of bread as it bakes. The more the universe grows, the cooler and quieter it becomes. Someday, far in the future, galaxies will drift so far that their light will no longer reach each other. The stars will fade, the night will deepen. But tonight the sky is still bright, the galaxies still shine, and the forces that move them still move through you. The same gravity that binds stars binds your feet to the ground. The same magnetic currents that shape the sun pass gently through your heart. The same expansion that carries galaxies apart carries you forward through time. You are not outside these forces. You are their continuation, a living expression of their quiet work. And when you breathe, slow, steady, calm, you are echoing the oldest rhythm of all, the pulse of the universe itself. Time moves differently in the universe. It is not a single river, but countless streams flowing at different speeds. Near great masses, time slows. Far from them, it quickens. Each moment bends gently with gravity's pull. If you stood upon the surface of a neutron star, where a teaspoon of matter weighs billions of tons, a second for you would stretch into hours for someone watching from afar. That difference is not illusion. It is real. Time itself changes shape. This is one of the softest truths of relativity, that time and space are not rigid walls, but fabric, curved and stretched by mass and motion. The faster something moves, the slower its time flows. A beam of light, moving at the cosmic speed limit, experiences no time at all. To light, the journey from one star to another happens in an instant. For us, it takes millennia. Every ray of starlight that reaches your eyes has been travelling through time, patient and unhurried, since before humanity learned to see. When you look at a distant star, you are not seeing it as it is. You are seeing it as it was. The farther you look, the further back you gaze, until distance becomes history, and light becomes memory. The sun you see is 8 minutes old. The light from Sirius is 8 years old. The glow from the Andromeda galaxy has been travelling for more than 2 million years, beginning its voyage long before our kind learned fire. The night sky is a library of the past, every star a page, every photon a word, written in light across the ages. And yet time flows through you too. Every heartbeat, every breath is part of its movement. Your body renews itself from atoms that once belonged to other stars, other worlds, other lives. You are not simply in time, you are time, given shape and warmth. Even on Earth, time moves unevenly. Clocks on mountain tops tick faster than those at sea level. Satellites in orbit experience time differently than those below, and without adjusting for this, GPS would lose its way. Time is not absolute, it is relational, alive, always responding to motion and gravity, always bending but never breaking. And light, gentle, constant light, is the thread that ties it all together. At 300,000 kilometers per second, it races through emptiness, unbound, unaging. It defines the speed of causality itself, the boundary between now and later, possible and impossible. No information, no signal, no thought can move faster. The universe's limit is also its rhythm, the soft heartbeat of creation's order. There are theories that speak of particles that might cross that limit, tachyons, hypothetical ghosts that would always move faster than light, but no evidence has yet been found. The universe, it seems, prefers elegance to chaos, and in that elegance lies peace, the slow, predictable unfolding of everything, one moment at a time. When light leaves a distant quasar and travels across billions of years, it carries with it the memory of where it began. It weaves through expanding space, its wavelength stretching, its energy fading into red, a cosmic sigh, a record of time's passage. That reddening of ancient light tells us the universe is expanding, space itself stretching between galaxies, like a deep breath being exhaled through eternity. And someday, even that light will fade beyond reach, its voice swallowed by distance. But tonight, you can still see it. Tiny, flickering, eternal. Light that has been travelling longer than our species has existed, now ending softly in your gaze. That is the quiet power of starlight. It connects you to beginnings. The universe has horizons, not walls, not barriers, but limits of what can be seen, what can be known. Beyond those horizons lies more, always more, but light has not yet had time to reach us from there. This is the observable universe, a sphere centered wherever you stand, reaching 46 billion light years in every direction. Everything within it is connected by light. Everything beyond it is still hidden, waiting or perhaps lost to time's widening tide. As space expands, galaxies drift apart, and some move faster than light relative to us, not because they break the rules, but because the space between us stretches. Light leaving them now will never arrive. Their glow fades into red, then into darkness, then into silence. That is the cosmic horizon. Not an end, but an ever-moving veil, marking the limit of what can ever be known. Beyond it, the universe continues, infinite or near enough to be indistinguishable from infinity. We stand at the center of our own horizon, not by importance, but by perspective. Every being on every planet would find themselves in the same position, the universe expanding equally in all directions from every point. There is no true center, no top or bottom, no edge to fall from. Only the quiet curve of space, bending back upon itself, like a thought returning home. At its largest scales, the universe is smooth, the same everywhere, in every direction. The great structures that form galaxies, clusters and voids appear like lace when seen across billions of light years. But beyond that, there is only uniformity, a quiet sea of potential. Even the concept of before the Big Bang dissolves at this horizon. Time itself may have begun there, or may be part of a greater cycle, an endless breathing of creation and rest. The universe does not need an outside. It expands into itself, carrying its own space with it, infinite and self-contained. We imagine edges because we live in bodies that know walls and boundaries. But in truth, there are none, only continuations too vast for language. At the farthest distances, galaxies fade into whispers of light. The oldest we have seen glow faintly in the dark, signals from a time when the first stars were young, when the universe itself was new and restless. Those ancient points remind us that the light we see is a story told backward through time. Each photon that touches you tonight has crossed impossible emptiness, weaving through gravity wells, dodging clouds of dust, waiting billions of years just to reach this moment. When you look up, you complete that journey. There are no ordinary moments in the night sky. Every shimmer is a relic of creation, every glint a testament to patience beyond imagination. And as you breathe, you are not separate from it. You are part of the horizon too, part of the expanding space, part of the great, invisible motion of everything becoming itself. You are the edge of the universe, seeing itself from within. The cosmos unfolds through you, quietly, gently, without hurry, and you, a small spark of awareness within it, are exactly where you belong. Beyond the sun, beyond the edge of what the naked eye can see, countless other suns burn quietly. And around those suns, other worlds turn, unseen but real. We call them exoplanets, planets that orbit stars other than our own. The first were discovered only a few decades ago, their presence revealed not by sight, but by the faint dimming of their stars as they passed in front of them. Now we know of thousands. Some are giants larger than Jupiter, orbiting so close to their stars that a single year lasts only a few days. Their skies glow white hot, their clouds heavy with vaporized metal. We call them hot Jupiters, and their atmospheres roar with winds faster than sound. Others are small and rocky, like Earth, circling suns that are dim and red. Some may have water, some may have air, some may even have life, but we cannot yet see them clearly. They're too far, too faint. All we can measure are shadows, colours, motions, the gentle signs of their existence. Still, those small clues are enough to tell us something beautiful. Planets are not rare. They are everywhere. For every star in the sky, there is likely at least one planet, and often many. That means there are more worlds than there are grains of sand on all the beaches of Earth, each one unique, each one turning slowly through its own endless night. Some orbit 2 stars at once, dancing in golden twilight between twin suns. Some drift alone through the dark, their stars long gone, their heat fading slowly into silence. Some are oceans without shores, some are deserts of glass, some may carry the first whispers of life, microbes hidden beneath ice, forests beneath strange skies, or something beyond imagining. There is a planet called Kepler 452b orbiting a star much like our Sun. It is older than Earth, larger, and may once have had oceans. If life arose there, it would have had billions of years to evolve before we even began to dream. There are others too, Proxima Centauri b, circling the nearest star to our own. It lies just beyond reach, within a zone where liquid water could exist. If we could send a ship travelling a fifth the speed of light, it would still take more than 20 years to arrive. And yet, in cosmic terms, that is close, a neighbour's light glimmering faintly through the trees. We imagine what their skies must look like. Maybe their sunsets burn green, their moons rise blue, their air glows with colours we have no names for. Maybe there are beings there who look up and wonder too. The search for exoplanets is not just a hunt for new worlds. It is a mirror held up to our own. Every discovery reminds us that the universe is fertile, that it has not stopped creating, that there may be countless places where consciousness has also begun to awaken. We listen for them, with radio dishes, with telescopes, with patience. We listen to the silence, and in that silence, we hear possibility. Even if we never find another voice, the knowing that they could exist changes everything. It means we are not isolated. We are connected by potential. Every star becomes a promise, every point of light, a doorway. And though the distances are impossible, our thoughts reach them instantly. For in imagination, distance does not exist. The universe may be full of minds dreaming under alien skies, wondering, as we do, what lies beyond. And perhaps, in some quiet way, all of us, all the forms of life scattered across time and light, are part of one great awakening, one shared act of seeing. We are the universe opening its own eyes. Life, as we know it, is fragile, but also stubborn. It finds a way to exist wherever it can, in the depths of oceans, beneath ice, within volcanic heat, even in the vacuum of space itself. On Earth, life began in water more than 3 billion years ago. It grew from simple chemistry, molecules finding order, learning how to copy themselves, how to change, how to persist. From those first sparks came everything, trees, wings, voices, dreams. And yet the ingredients of life are not unique to Earth. We have found them everywhere we look. In the tails of comets, frozen grains carry organic molecules, the same building blocks of DNA. In interstellar clouds, simple sugars and amino acids form naturally, drifting in the dark. Even between the stars, chemistry is at work, quietly preparing the seeds of life. This means that the story that began here could begin anywhere. Life is not an accident. It may be a tendency, the universe's way of knowing itself. There are moons in our own solar system where life might hide. Europa, a moon of Jupiter, has an ocean beneath its icy crust, more water than all of Earth's seas combined. Beneath that frozen surface, warmth from tidal forces may keep the water liquid, rich with minerals and energy. If there are creatures there, they swim in darkness, guided by touch and chemistry, never seeing the light of the sun. Enceladus, a small moon of Saturn, also hides an ocean. We know because geysers of water vapour burst from cracks in its surface, spraying into space. Within those plumes, spacecraft have detected salt, silica, and organic molecules, ingredients that whisper of life. And then there is Titan, Saturn's largest moon, shrouded in thick orange haze, its lakes filled not with water, but with liquid methane and ethane. Its chemistry is alien, but complex. It may hold a form of life unlike anything we can imagine, one that breathes hydrocarbons, one that thrives in cold. Even Mars, once dry and dead in our eyes, shows signs that water once flowed across its face, valleys carved by rivers, minerals formed by ancient seas. Perhaps long ago it was alive, perhaps beneath its dusty skin it still remembers how to be. Everywhere we look we find hints, suggestions, possibilities. Nowhere do we find certainty, and that too is beautiful. The silence of the stars is not loneliness, it is invitation, an open question written across the night. Who else is out there? Maybe the first life we find will be microscopic, simple cells frozen in ice, or drifting in the atmosphere of some distant planet. Maybe it will be complex, coral forests under alien suns, wings beating in strange winds. Or maybe it will be something beyond our senses, a form of awareness that exists without bodies, without time, thinking in ways we cannot yet conceive. Whatever it is, it will not be separate from us. Because all life shares the same roots, the same dust, the same light, the same long chain of atoms linking back to the stars. When we search the cosmos for life, we are searching for family. Not strangers, but reflections. And whether we find them or not, we already belong to something greater. Because we are the proof that the universe can dream, that matter can become meaning, that energy can become thought. We are not visitors in this vastness. We are participants. Tiny, fragile, luminous. The cosmos is not cold. It is alive, not in one place but everywhere, quietly, patiently, eternally becoming aware. And tonight, as you rest beneath its soft glow, you are part of that awareness, a small spark in the great fire of existence, a single note in the music of life that never ends. Everything in the universe moves, but nothing moves alone. Each motion is part of another, larger motion, a harmony of turning and returning, the gentle music of gravity made visible. The earth circles the sun once each year, the moon circles the earth once each month, and as we spin together through space, we trace endless spirals through the galaxy, our paths never repeating, always flowing forward, like notes in an eternal song. Our planet's orbit is not a perfect circle, but an ellipse, slightly stretched, always changing. When we are closest to the sun, our world moves faster, racing through its orbit. When we are farthest, it slows, drifting through the cool distance. This dance of motion and light shapes the seasons, turning time itself into a rhythm. The tilt of the Earth, just over 23 degrees, gives us summer and winter, long days and long nights. Without that tilt, there would be no variation, no rhythm of growing and resting, no balance between warmth and snow. Even the moon's pull shapes our world. It draws the oceans upward, creating tides that roll endlessly across the shores. As it circles us, the Earth's own spin slows, ever so slightly, while the moon drifts away, about 4 centimetres each year. Someday, far in the future, the moon will seem smaller in our sky, and total eclipses will end. When the moon passes between us and the sun, it casts a moving shadow across the Earth, a perfect alignment of cosmic geometry that lasts only minutes. People travel across continents to stand in that shadow, to feel the sudden hush as day turns briefly into night. It is the universe's reminder that perfection still exists, if only for a moment. Other worlds have their own moons, hundreds of them. Jupiter alone has more than 90, each with its own face and motion. Some are small as mountains, others are as large as planets. One of them, Io, is alive with volcanoes, its surface constantly remade by fire. Another, Europa, hides a world of water beneath its ice. Each one moves in rhythm, pulled and pushed by Jupiter's vast gravity, their orbits locked together in intricate harmony. Saturn's moons, too, weave patterns through its rings, tiny shepherds guiding billions of icy particles along their paths. Each ring, each moon, each fragment of dust moves in perfect balance, choreographed by invisible forces older than light itself. Even the asteroids, millions of them, follow their own orbits between Mars and Jupiter, or farther still in the Kuiper belt. Some are fragments of worlds that never formed. Some are reminders of the solar system's early storms. In this grand motion, nothing is wasted. Every orbit tells a story of creation, every path shaped by what came before. If you could see all of it at once, the planets, the moons, the asteroids, the comets, you would see not chaos but a living pattern, a spiral dance glowing faintly in the dark. Each orbit a circle of time, each world a note, each revolution a whisper of eternity. The music of orbits is the oldest lullaby. It has been playing since the first stars formed, and it will continue long after the last one fades. The planets do not rush, they do not falter. They move in silence, in balance, in peace. And you too move with them, a passenger in this cosmic waltz, turning gently through the Milky Way. Your every breath, your every heartbeat echoes that same rhythm, the rise and fall of motion, the stillness between. The universe turns, and you turn within it. Always in motion, always in balance, always in time. Between the planets lies a quiet that cannot be found anywhere on Earth. It is not the silence of absence, but the silence of fullness, a vastness too complete for sound. If you could float there, between Mars and Jupiter, you would see nothing at first. No ground, no air, only starlight falling like snow across infinity. And yet that darkness is not empty. It is alive with particles, light, and invisible fields, the quiet threads that hold everything together. In the sunlight, space is bright, but beyond the reach of a star's warmth, the temperature drops to near absolute zero, so cold that atoms barely move. It is a cold so perfect it preserves time itself. Even so, light still travels there. It never stops, never slows, never fades entirely. Every photon born from a star's fire crosses this silence on its long journey outward, carrying with it the memory of its origin. Sometimes light meets resistance, clouds of gas or dust that scatter it, bending and colouring its glow. These clouds form nebulae, the great paintings of the universe. Their shapes are sculpted by starlight and wind, their colours born from hydrogen, oxygen, and sulphur, the same elements that breathe within us. There is one called the Eagle Nebula, where columns of dust rise like mountains of smoke. At its heart are the pillars of creation, where stars are forming even now, hidden in the shadows. Another, the Cat's Eye Nebula, is the ghost of a dying star, its last breath of light spreading into the dark. And in the Crab Nebula, the remains of a supernova still glow, the energy of its death lighting the sky nearly 1,000 years after it was seen on Earth. Even death in space creates beauty. Every end becomes a beginning. The dust of stars becomes the soil of new suns, new worlds, new dreams. Between those places, the space is vast, but not void. Invisible currents of charged particles drift through, guided by magnetic fields that stretch from star to star. Cosmic rays, fragments of atoms, race at nearly the speed of light, crossing galaxies, passing silently through you as you read this. For every atom in your body, there is a piece of the universe still in motion, still travelling, still seeking balance. You are connected to it through that quiet space. If you could hold out your hand in the dark between stars, you would be touching a sea of particles older than the Earth, remnants of long-dead suns and the very first explosions of the cosmos. Every part of you was once part of that sea, and someday every part of you will return to it. The stillness between worlds is not emptiness, it is rest. A vast pause in the universe's song, where even light takes its time to travel. It is where gravity hums softly, where motion slows into patience, where distance becomes serenity. And though no sound travels there, if you could listen with your heart, you might hear something still. The faint vibration of existence itself, the quiet hum of everything being exactly as it must be. The universe does not rush, it does not strain. It only unfolds, moment by moment, atom by atom, breath by breath. You are part of that unfolding, a small luminous stillness between worlds. All life begins in light. The warmth on your skin, the glow behind your eyelids, the gold of morning, all of it comes from one star, the sun. It is not the largest, nor the brightest, but for us it is everything. A single sphere of plasma burning quietly in the centre of our solar system, older than all memory. 4.5 billion years ago, it formed from a collapsing cloud of gas and dust, the same cloud that would give birth to Earth, the Moon, and every planet we know. At its core, the sun burns through fusion, the joining of hydrogen into helium, the transformation of matter into light. Every second, it turns nearly 4 million tons of its own mass into pure energy. And yet, even at that rate, it will burn for billions more years. That light takes a long journey to reach you. It begins in the sun's core, where photons are born in collisions of atoms. But the way out is long. A labyrinth of plasma so dense that it can take 10,000 years for a single particle of light to escape. When it finally does, it races across space, travelling 150 million kilometres in just 8 minutes. That's what sunlight is. 10,000 years of waiting, 8 minutes of flight, and then it finds you. It touches oceans, trees, skin, clouds, and all the green that grows. It paints every colour you've ever seen, turns night into day, and powers every breath you take. The sun is a yellow dwarf star, stable, gentle, perfectly balanced between gravity and heat. Its surface blazes at nearly 6,000 degrees Celsius, while its core burns at more than 15 million. Its energy radiates outward as light, heat, and solar wind, streams of particles that shape the space around us. The solar wind stretches far beyond the outer planets, creating a vast bubble known as the heliosphere. Within it, our solar system is sheltered from much of the harsh radiation of the galaxy. It is the sun's invisible embrace, a shield of warmth reaching into the cold. Sometimes that embrace flares. Magnetic storms twist and snap across the sun's surface, releasing waves of energy that travel toward Earth. When they meet our planet's magnetic field, they paint the sky with light, ribbons of green and violet that shimmer near the poles. We call them auroras, the sky's quiet conversation with the sun. Every dawn is proof of a bond unbroken. For billions of mornings, the sun has risen, and for billions more, it will continue to rise. Even when the night feels endless, the sun is still there, unseen but constant, waiting beyond the curve of the earth. The dark does not erase it, it only hides it for a while. And one day, far in the future, when the sun has burned most of its fuel, it will change. It will swell into a red giant, large enough to engulf Mercury and Venus, perhaps even our world. Then it will shed its outer layers, leaving behind a small, bright remnant, a white dwarf, glowing softly in the dark. Even in death it will shine for billions more years, an ember of light, a memory of warmth. But for now, it burns on, steady and kind, the quiet heart of our sky. Its light falls through windows, through trees, through time. It has touched every life that has ever lived, and it will continue to do so long after ours are gone. Close your eyes. You can still feel it. Even through the dark, it reaches you. That warmth is older than life. It is the pulse of a star, and it is yours. If light is the voice of the sun, then shadow is the echo of the earth. Day gives way to night not because the light ends, but because the world turns. A soft rotation, a gentle pause between two kinds of beauty. Every sunrise begins in darkness. Every sunset ends in light. The cycle never stops, and within it, life finds its rhythm. When you stand beneath a full moon, you are standing within sunlight reflected from distant stone. The same light that warms you by day now glows silver in the night, filtered through dust and shadow. The moon does not shine on its own, it borrows its light. A quiet act of reflection, a lesson in patience and grace. Sometimes the sun, earth and moon align, and light and shadow weave together into something rare. When the earth's shadow falls upon the moon, it becomes a lunar eclipse, the moon turning red as sunlight bends through our atmosphere. And when the moon passes before the sun, it becomes a solar eclipse, the day darkening as the world holds its breath. For a few moments, the stars return to the daytime sky, and the sun becomes a ring of fire. People travel across continents to stand in that shadow, to feel the strangeness of daylight gone. It is one of the few moments when we can see the universe's geometry made visible, the simple perfection of orbits, alignment, and chance. Shadows stretch and shrink as the earth turns. They move with the hours, marking time before clocks existed. They are the quiet record of motion, proof that the earth spins even when we cannot feel it. Every day the planet turns once, one rotation in 24 hours. That spin gives us sunrise and sunset, wind and weather, dawn and dusk. The length of a day, the pattern of seasons, the dance of night and light. All come from that steady turning. The earth spins eastward, carrying us toward the morning, lifting the sun from the horizon. And when night comes, it is not that the sun has fallen, but that we have turned away. We move through shadow like breath moving through rest. Not loss, but renewal. Even the colours of sunset tell a story of light and distance. As sunlight passes through the thicker air near the horizon, shorter wavelengths scatter, leaving only reds and golds. Every evening, sky is a painting made by air and light, a reminder that even as the sun sets, its light remains with us in softer form. The night sky that follows is no less bright, only quieter. The stars take the stage, their cold fires revealing the scale of everything beyond. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a bridge of memory, the faint path of countless suns, too far to name. There are no true edges between day and night, only a slow blending, a handover of light. The Earth's shadow stretches outward into space, and somewhere in that shadow, the moon moves silently. The stars burn, and we dream. Even darkness is full of light, too faint for eyes to see, but always there. In the deep night, starlight crosses time to reach you. In your sleep, the cosmos continues to turn. Day and night are not opposites. They are halves of the same breath. In their balance, the universe finds peace. And as you rest beneath both, you too become part of that balance. A small planet turning softly through light and shadow, carried in perfect rhythm through the dark. Light is more than what the eye can see. It travels in many forms, each with its own language. Radio, infrared, visible, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma. All are light, all are waves, all are ways the universe speaks. The human eye perceives only a thin sliver of this spectrum, a narrow window of colour between red and violet. But beyond red lies the warmth of infrared, And beyond violet lies the shimmer of ultraviolet, light invisible to us but everywhere. Infrared is the glow of warmth itself. It reveals what cannot be seen, stars still forming within clouds, galaxies hidden by dust, planets warmed by distant suns. It is the heat of life, the warmth that lingers in the dark. Ultraviolet, sharper and stronger, shines from young stars and hot gas. It sculpts the edges of nebulae, ignites chemical reactions in alien skies, and burns faintly in the glow of our own atmosphere. Far beyond the X-rays come, fierce and rare, born of violent places, the collapse of stars, the hunger of black holes, the fusion of neutron hearts. They pierce the dark like whispers of intensity, proof that even destruction can shine. And higher still, at the top of energy's ladder, are gamma rays, the universe's most powerful light, released in bursts that can outshine galaxies. These eruptions mark the births of black holes or the collisions of neutron stars, moments when the cosmos breathes fire into the void. Every kind of light tells a story. Radio waves carry the gentle hum of pulsars and the faint echoes of the Big Bang. Infrared shows the warmth of hidden suns. Visible light paints our skies. Ultraviolet reveals creation's edges. X-rays and gamma rays show its extremes. When astronomers look at the universe through these different lenses, they do not see separate worlds. They see layers of the same truth. Each wavelength reveals a different face of the same infinite body. The colours we know, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, exist because of how light bends and breaks. When sunlight passes through droplets of water, it slows, separates, becomes a rainbow. That arc of colour is a map of energy, the visible song of light's many notes. Every object in space glows in its own way. Stars emit pure light, continuous and bright. Planets reflect it, giving off colours shaped by their atmospheres. Nebulae absorb it, then release it again in softer tones. Blues from oxygen, greens from hydrogen, reds from sulfur. If you could see the entire sky in full spectrum, it would not be black. It would glow, faintly, endlessly, with colours beyond imagining. Space is not empty, it is radiant, even in its quietest places. The aurora borealis and aurora australis, dancing above Earth's poles, are proof of this radiance close to home. When charged particles from the sun meet our magnetic field, they collide with atoms in the atmosphere, lighting them from within. Oxygen glows green and red, nitrogen glows blue and violet. Together they form curtains of light that ripple like breathing. From orbit, astronauts say the aurora looks alive, shimmering waves flowing over the edge of the Earth, soft as silk, silent as thought. It is the planet's way of painting itself with starlight. Even the dark between stars carries colour. The faint red glow of hydrogen, the blue of scattered dust, the soft background of ancient fire. The universe is an artist, painting with time instead of pigment, with light instead of hands. And every colour, every beam, every wavelength touches you. Right now, invisible waves pass through your skin, your bones, your breath. They do not harm, they simply move, carrying the story of creation through you. You are part of that spectrum. You are one of its shades. Your warmth, your thoughts, your life, all are forms of light slowed down enough to dream. The universe does not stand still. Every atom vibrates, every photon moves, every star turns slowly through its own eternity. Energy is the quiet foundation of all that is, the thread connecting matter and light, motion and rest, existence and time. It cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes form, endlessly cycling through everything that has ever been. The warmth you feel from the sun is the same energy that once burned in the heart of a collapsing star. The spark that powers your thoughts is ancient, older than the earth, older than life, part of a chain that began when the universe was born. In the beginning, energy and matter were one. They unfolded together like two sides of the same breath. When light slowed, it became substance. When substance moved, it became light again. This is E equals mc squared, the quiet truth that matter and energy are interchangeable, that everything solid is, at its heart, light caught in motion. When a star fuses hydrogen, it turns matter into energy, giving off light and heat. When a black hole forms, it converts mass into pure motion. When two particles collide, they trade energy like dancers exchanging steps. Even within your body, this transformation continues. Chemical bonds shift, heat spreads, cells move, a slow, constant glow of living energy. You're a small sun in your own right, burning softly, radiating warmth into the world around you. Every movement you make ripples through the air, transfers momentum, shifts balance. No gesture is lost, no sound vanishes completely. Energy continues, subtle and eternal. The same principle drives galaxies. Their stars orbit around invisible centers, their arms spun by gravity and motion, working in perfect accord. Dark matter holds them, dark energy stretches them, starlight illuminates them. It is all one dance, energy changing forms, finding new balance, seeking new ways to exist. Even in stillness, energy remains. A frozen lake holds it in the bonds between its molecules. A quiet rock carries it in its mass. The space around you hums with invisible energy fields, faint but constant. Physicists call it the 0-point energy, the minimum vibration that even the vacuum cannot lose. It means the universe can never truly be still. Even the emptiest void quivers faintly, holding the potential for everything yet to come. That hum, silent everywhere, is the foundation of creation itself. It is why particles can appear and vanish, why stars can form, why time moves forward. You live within that energy, shaped by it, sustained by it. Every breath you take borrows from it. Every heartbeat returns to it. And someday, when your own energy fades, it will not end. It will simply move on, to air, to soil, to light, to space. In this way, you are eternal. You are part of the flow that moves planets and stirs galaxies. You are built from motion, and you will never stop moving. Even when you sleep, the energy within you continues its work. Cells dividing, atoms vibrating, warmth flowing outward in quiet ripples. Your dreams are made of energy too, patterns of light flickering in your mind, soft as starlight on water. You do not need to search for connection to the universe. You are already living proof of it. Everything that exists is energy in one of its infinite disguises, and energy, by its nature, never dies. There are places in the universe where light itself cannot escape, not because it has been destroyed, but because space folds too deeply for it to climb out again. These are black holes, the most mysterious of all the universe's creations. A black hole is not a hole at all, but a place where gravity has grown so strong that matter collapses beyond measure. A star much larger than our sun burns through its fuel, loses balance, and then, in an instant of surrender, collapses inward. The weight becomes infinite, the star's light vanishes, and what remains is a point of density so immense that it bends space like silk drawn to a needle's tip. Around that point lies the event horizon, a boundary beyond which no light can return. To cross it is to fall forever, yet to an outside observer, nothing ever seems to fall completely. Time slows, light fades, motion freezes. The edge of a black hole is not a wall, but a horizon of frozen moments. Inside, time and space change roles. To fall in is to move forward in time. To move forward is to fall deeper. No one knows what lies at the centre, whether it is a single point, a ring, or a doorway. All our equations whisper, then grow silent there. And yet black holes are not simply destroyers. They're architects. Their gravity shapes galaxies. Their hunger regulates star formation. Their presence gives balance to the dance of light and matter. Without them, the cosmos would drift apart differently. When black holes feed, they shine. As gas and dust spiral inward, they heat to millions of degrees, releasing X-rays, radio waves, and jets of energy that stretch for light years into space. In that moment, the darkest objects become the brightest beacons. We call them quasars, and their light can outshine entire galaxies. At the centre of our own Milky Way lies a black hole called Sagittarius, a star, 4 million times the mass of our Sun, hidden by clouds of dust. We cannot see it directly, but we can see the stars dancing around it, their orbits tracing invisible circles through time. It is the still point around which everything turns, the silent heart of our galaxy. In 2019, we saw the first image of a black hole's shadow, not through eyes, but through patience. Dozens of telescopes around the Earth watched together, collecting light from a galaxy 55 million light-years away. When their data combined, they revealed a ring of fire surrounding a perfect darkness, the boundary between known and unknowable. That image was not just science, it was art, a portrait of gravity itself, a mirror held up to the infinite. Black holes evaporate too, not by explosion, but by whisper. They lose mass through what physicists call Hawking radiation, a slow leakage of energy over unimaginable time. Even the mightiest will someday fade, dissolving back into the background glow of creation. Nothing, not even darkness, lasts forever. The universe turns even its deepest mysteries into light again. And so the black hole is not an end, it is a pause, the quiet breath the cosmos takes before continuing its song. Imagine that space is not emptiness, but a fabric, soft, invisible, endless. Every star, every planet, every atom presses into that fabric, creating tiny curves and folds. This is what we call space-time, not two separate things, but one, woven together. Einstein was the first to see it clearly. He understood that gravity is not a force pulling downward, but the shape of space itself bending around mass. Planets do not orbit because they are tugged. They orbit because they are following the natural curves of the universe's geometry. If you could see this fabric, it would look like a slow ocean. Every star, a small whirlpool, every galaxy, a great swirl in the current. When two stars pass close, their ripples merge, creating waves that travel outward at the speed of light. These are gravitational waves, the tremors of space-time itself, proof that the universe moves not only through space, but within it. The first time we heard those waves, it was like hearing the universe breathe. Two black holes had collided more than 1 billion years ago. Their crash sent ripples across creation, expanding through galaxies, through dust, through us. When those ripples reached Earth, they were smaller than an atom, yet they moved mountains of data and hearts all the same. We now know that space can bend, stretch, ripple, and expand. It is not static, not empty. It is alive with motion. Even time itself bends along with it. When you're near something massive, time slows. When you move quickly, time stretches. This is not illusion. It is the shape of reality. If you were to travel near the speed of light, you could go on a journey that seems only a few years to you, but millions to those you left behind. This is time dilation, the gentle warping of duration that keeps the speed of light unbroken. And perhaps within this fabric there are shortcuts, wormholes, tunnels connecting distant points of space and time. They remain unproven, but possible. If they exist, they might one day let light, or even life, fold the distance between stars. For now, we can only imagine two openings in the fabric of reality, linked by a passage so brief that crossing galaxies could feel like a step between heartbeats. The equations say it can be, the stars seem to whisper that it already is. Space and time are not separate roads, but one continuous path. Wherever you stand, you are standing in both, in space, within time. You are woven into the same tapestry as galaxies and atoms. When you move, the universe moves with you. When you rest, the universe rests too. You are not travelling through the cosmos. You are part of the fabric it's made from. The folds of your thoughts, the pauses between your breaths, the stillness in your heart, they all echo the same pattern that holds stars and black holes. You are a small curve in the vast design, a ripple of awareness in the ocean of space-time. And as the fabric continues to stretch, carrying galaxies farther apart, you stretch with it, softly, silently, effortlessly. Even now, the space between atoms in your body expands by a fraction with every cosmic heartbeat. You are growing with the universe, forever becoming part of its unfolding. The universe is not still. It moves, breathes, widens, and unfolds. A vast fabric stretching in all directions at once. Every moment, space itself expands, carrying galaxies away from one another like leaves drifting on a slow, invisible tide. The distances between them grow, not because the galaxies are moving through space, but because space is growing between them. This discovery was a whisper at first. Astronomers looked at the light from distant galaxies and found it shifted toward red, a sign that the light was stretching as it travelled, its waves pulled longer by the expansion of space. The farther the galaxy, the greater the redshift. It meant the universe was not static, but alive. This expansion began more than 13 billion years ago, at the moment of the Big Bang. Not an explosion into empty space, but the birth of space itself. There was no centre, no outside, no edge, only everything expanding everywhere. The galaxies we see are not flying apart through the void. They are being carried apart by the growth of the void itself. And that growth has never stopped. Even now, the cosmos continues to stretch faster and faster, driven by something unseen, dark energy, the quiet force that fills all of space and pushes it wider. We do not know what dark energy is. It cannot be touched or measured directly, but we can feel its effect, a steady acceleration that makes distant galaxies drift faster as time passes. The more space expands, the more of it there is to expand, and so the universe grows ever more swiftly. There is no wind in this expansion, no sound, no vibration. It happens everywhere at once, gentle, unstoppable, eternal. One day, perhaps trillions of years from now, galaxies beyond our own will fade from view entirely, carried away faster than their light can reach us. The night sky will grow quieter, emptier. The Milky Way and Andromeda, merged into one great spiral, will drift through the silence alone. To those who might exist then, the universe will seem smaller, darker, simpler, its vastness hidden beyond their horizon. But the truth will remain. It is still there, still growing, still infinite. The cosmic background radiation, that faint whisper from the beginning, will cool until it becomes radio silence. The stars will dim, one by one, and yet even that fading will be beautiful. The universe exhaling softly into peace, the galaxies, the clusters, the webs of light, all are patterns in motion, flowing outward forever. The expansion does not tear them apart, it only carries them gently forward. And within those patterns, stars are still born, worlds still form, and light still travels. Every second you live, the universe becomes larger. Every breath you take, the fabric of existence stretches a little farther. It is a slow, patient growth, so gentle that you cannot feel it, yet so immense that it shapes everything. You are part of that expansion. Your atoms, your thoughts, your very presence move outward with it. You are carried on the same tide that carries galaxies. And as you rest tonight, the cosmos continues its quiet unfolding. It expands through your dreams, through your silence, through the space between every heartbeat. The universe grows, and you grow within it. Everything that burns must one day rest. Even stars, bright and eternal as they seem, are mortal in their own long way. Each star is born from a cloud of dust and gas, ignited by gravity, sustained by fusion. It shines because of balance, inward pull, outward heat, perfect harmony. But no balance lasts forever. Over billions of years, the hydrogen that fuels a star is slowly consumed. When it begins to run low, the star changes. Its core contracts, its outer layers swell. A small star, like our sun, becomes a red giant, vast and cool, glowing softly as it sheds its outer shells. Then, with a quiet sigh, It releases those layers into space, forming a planetary nebula, a bubble of colour expanding into the dark. What remains at the centre is a white dwarf, small and bright, a leftover ember that will cool for trillions of years. But for larger stars, the ending is not so gentle. When fusion can no longer resist gravity, the core collapses in an instant. The outer layers fall inward, rebound, and explode outward in a flash brighter than galaxies. This is a supernova, the death of a star, and the birth of everything else. In that brief moment of destruction, new elements are created. Gold, silver, iron, carbon. Everything solid and heavy that you can touch was born from that final burst of light. Your blood, your bones, your planet, your breath, all are the ashes of stars that once lived, burned, and died. From those ashes, new stars form. From those stars, new worlds. From those worlds, new life. The universe is a cycle of burning and renewal. Light becoming matter, matter becoming light again. There are stars so large that they collapse entirely, falling past their own horizon into black holes. There are stars so small that they will burn quietly for trillions of years, far longer than our own. Red dwarfs, small steady suns, are the most patient of all, living hundreds of times longer than stars like ours. When the last bright stars fade, it is these tiny embers that will still glow, keeping the night alight for a while longer. Eventually, even they will cool. The universe will enter its long twilight, no longer dark but dim, a quiet expanse filled with white dwarfs, black holes, and the faint afterglow of what once was. This is called the heat death, not destruction, but stillness. A time when energy is evenly spread, when no warmth flows, when the universe reaches perfect balance. But even then, beauty will remain. The ghosts of stars will drift through the quiet, their atoms dispersed into the vast. Their stories will continue in the shape of what they left behind. Nothing is ever truly gone. The energy that burns in stars is the same energy that burns in you. It only changes, softens, returns. You are made of stars, and someday the stars will be made of you. Galaxies are the universe's great islands of light, vast spirals and ellipses, glowing with billions of suns. They turn slowly, their arms sweeping through space, like the quiet motion of waves. Every galaxy is both home and traveller, spinning gently within the dark sea of expansion. The Milky Way, our galaxy, is one of countless others, 100,000 light-years wide, a river of stars flowing through the night. It is not alone. Nearby drifts Andromeda, slightly larger, slightly brighter, drawn toward us across the gulf of space. Though they seem far apart, gravity binds them, and in about 4 billion years, they will meet. Their meeting will not be a collision, as we might imagine. Not fire and ruin, but a slow interweaving of stars and space. Each galaxy's stars are separated by such immense distances that few, if any, will ever touch. Instead, they will pass through each other, their shapes distorting, their arms stretching into long streams of light. Over time, they will merge, becoming one great luminous form, a new galaxy, serene and elliptical, shining softly in the dark. Some stars will be cast into space, forming faint halos around the edges. Others will fall inward, gathering near the centre, where the two supermassive black holes will spiral together in silence until they merge into one. From that union will come gravitational waves, ripples of space and time, moving outward forever, the quiet echo of two galaxies becoming one. This is not the end, but a continuation, the universe reshaping itself in slow beauty. Every galaxy you see, even the most distant, will one day change form. Some will merge, some will drift alone, some will fade quietly as their stars burn out, leaving behind only dark remnants, waiting for the next cycle to begin. The Milky Way's light will travel long after we are gone. Each photon, born in the heart of a star, will wander across trillions of kilometers, passing through dust, through silence, through time. Even when the stars that made it fade, their lights will still be moving, a gentle thread of memory woven through the night. Beyond the galaxies we can see lies something greater still, the cosmic web, the grand structure of everything. Filaments of galaxies stretch across hundreds of millions of light years, connecting clusters like threads of light in an endless tapestry. Between them lie vast voids, immense spaces where almost nothing exists. The web is not random. It formed from tiny ripples in the early universe, where matter gathered and gravity began its patient work. What began as faint variations in density grew into the great architecture of existence. You live within one of those filaments, on a small blue planet orbiting an ordinary star, in one quiet arm of a spiral galaxy. Yet from this small place, you can see almost everything: the farthest light, the oldest echoes, the map of the cosmos written in starlight. In every galaxy's turning, there is a whisper of eternity. They spin not because of will, but because of balance, a slow motion set in place by the universe's first breath. Someday, far beyond reckoning, the galaxies will drift too far apart to see each other's light. The sky will darken, and the cosmic web will dissolve into silence. But that too will be part of the same gentle story. The universe resting, not dying, and perhaps when it rests long enough, it will begin again. Light returning to dark, dark returning to light, as it always has. Time is not a line but a tide, rising, falling, flowing through all things. It is measured not only in seconds and years, but in the slow unfolding of existence itself. For stars, time moves differently than it does for you. 1,000,000 years is a blink to a star, a sigh to a galaxy, a whisper to the cosmos. Even the death of suns, the drift of galaxies, the expansion of space, all are slow movements in the ocean of time. Einstein taught us that time bends with gravity. Where there is mass, time moves more slowly. A clock on the surface of the Earth ticks differently from one high above. A clock near a black hole might take an eternity to record a moment. This is why time and space cannot be separated. They are one continuous current. When you move through space, you also move through time. When you stand still, you drift through the river, all the same. And in the grandest sense, time itself may have a beginning and an end. It began with the Big Bang, when energy and matter first unfolded. Before that, there was no before, only potential waiting to awaken. If the universe expands forever, time will continue, stretching thinner, growing slower as the cosmos cools. But if it someday stops expanding or folds inward upon itself, then time might reverse. Galaxies drifting closer, stars reborn in fire, everything beginning again in a cycle without end. Even now, there are theories that speak of multiple universes, infinite bubbles, each with its own time, its own laws, its own beginnings and endings. If that is true, then our universe is just one ripple among countless others, each breathing in and out through ages beyond number. But for you here, in this single moment, time is both infinite and small. It flows through your pulse, through your breath, through every thought that drifts like dust in sunlight. You are made of moments, each one a reflection of the universe's first dawn. The atoms in your body have aged through stars, through worlds, through the silent clockwork of creation. They have known heat and cold, darkness and light, collapse and rebirth, and now they are here, part of you, living through you, watching time unfold once more. To sleep is to let go of time's straight line, to step into its deeper rhythm, where memory and possibility merge. In dreams, time becomes soft, pliable, circular. You move through it the way light moves through water, and perhaps that is closer to how the universe feels time, not as a number, but as a pulse, not as an arrow, but as a song. You are not separate from that song. You are one of its notes vibrating quietly in harmony with everything that ever was. The slow breath of time moves through you. It carries the light of ancient stars, the dust of old worlds, the quiet hope of what may come next. It does not hurry, It only continues, and as it flows, it whispers the same truth it always has, that even the smallest moment contains eternity. Light travels endlessly, but it cannot last forever. Over time, it stretches, weakens, softens, like sound fading across an open field. Even starlight, as ancient as it is, will someday reach the edge of what can be seen and dissolve into the background glow. Right now, the universe is still bright with stars. Every point of light you see in the sky is a sun, burning its life across space. Some of that light began its journey before humans walked the earth. Some has travelled for billions of years, across distances so vast that the galaxies it came from have already changed. You are looking at ghosts of brightness, light still moving toward you long after its source has gone. In the far future, that glow will thin. The great spirals of stars will dim as their fuel runs low. The bright blue giants will burn out first, leaving behind smaller, quieter suns that shine in soft amber tones. The galaxies will grow fainter, their arms turning pale, their cores whispering in infrared instead of fire. Eventually, there will come a time when no new stars are born. The gas and dust that once gathered into suns will be gone, spent, recycled too many times. The last lights will be old, small and patient, red dwarfs glowing dimly for trillions of years, holding on to their warmth as the universe cools around them. Even they will fade, becoming white dwarfs, cooling embers adrift in infinite night. They will no longer shine, but they will still be warm for a while, each one a quiet memory of what was once a star. In the end, these embers will go dark. Physicists call them black dwarfs, stars that no longer glow, only exist. No one has ever seen one, because the universe is not yet old enough for them to exist. But one day, they will fill the sky, invisible but present, like thoughts in the mind of time. The light between galaxies will stretch thinner still. Cosmic microwave background radiation, the oldest light from the Big Bang, will cool until its waves are longer than space itself can carry. Darkness will no longer be the absence of light, but the presence of calm. And yet the story will not feel sad. There is peace in this slow fading, the kind that comes after a long day when the world finally rests. Light has travelled for eons. It has illuminated worlds, warmed oceans, shaped life. Its work will be done, and it will lie down softly into the quiet. Every photon that has ever existed will still be somewhere, diffused into the fabric of space, gentle and eternal. Nothing vanishes completely. Even the faintest beam becomes part of the whole. You too carry that fading starlight within you. The warmth in your skin, the spark in your thoughts, these are echoes of the same fire that lit the first galaxies. The light that once raced across the cosmos now burns quietly behind your eyes. When you close them, it continues to shine there, a small star remembering. There will come a night so long that no dawn follows, a silence so vast that even the echo of creation will rest. This is not an ending, but a stillness, the deep sleep of the cosmos. In that far future, the galaxies will be separated by gulfs too wide for light to cross. Each island of stars will drift alone, unknowing of others. The universe will have expanded beyond sight, beyond sound, beyond the memory of brightness. The great black holes will remain, silent, patient, waiting in the dark. They will feed for a time, then fade too, evaporating into the faint mist of Hawking radiation. Their final whisper will be the last light of the cosmos, a soft exhalation of energy dissolving into nothingness. After that, the universe will not end abruptly. It will not crash or shatter, it will simply grow quiet. The temperature of space will approach absolute zero, atoms will drift apart, motion will slow, time itself may lose meaning, everything will settle into a balance so perfect that change will no longer be possible. Physicists call it the heat death, but the name misleads. It is not heat, and it is not death. It is rest, the universe reaching the calm it has been moving towards since the first spark. The long exhale after eternity's breath, and yet perhaps even that is not truly the end. Some theories say that quantum fluctuations, the tiny unpredictable tremors of existence, may one day stir the silence again. A particle here, a wave there, until slowly, quietly, something forms, a spark and a ripple, a seed of light, and from that seed a new universe could bloom, as this one once did, long ago. It would begin small, dense, bright beyond imagining, unfolding again into space and time. A new song born from silence. Maybe it has already happened. Maybe it is happening now, far beyond our horizon. New worlds, new skies, new stories forming from the same eternal rhythm. Nothing is truly lost, not stars, not time, not even you. Every part of existence is recycled, transformed, reborn. You were not created once, but many times, as light, as dust, as thought, as life. You are the continuation of everything that ever was. When you close your eyes, you are touching that silence, not as something separate, but as something home. The calm that fills the space between stars is the same calm that fills your chest. When you breathe deeply and let go, there is no fear in the dark. It is simply where light goes to rest. It is where the universe dreams of beginning again. And as it dreams, you dream with it, part of the same endless cycle, part of the same sleeping infinity. In that stillness, everything that was and will be becomes one quiet truth. Nothing ever truly ends, and all things find their peace. In the quiet expanse of space, there is a tiny voice, the soft pulse of thought, the flicker of awareness. It comes from a fragile world, circling an ordinary star, hidden in a spiral arm of an average galaxy. And yet within that smallness, the universe has learned to see itself. Every human thought, every dream, every act of wonder is a reflection of the cosmos, remembering what it is made of. The iron in your blood was forged in the heart of a dying star. The calcium in your bones once drifted through interstellar clouds. The carbon in your breath began in a supernova's fire. You are the universe, aware of its own story. You are stardust that learned to speak. Atoms that once travelled for billions of years through silence have gathered now in the shape of you. Thinking, feeling, remembering. When you look up at the stars, they are not strangers. They are your ancestors. Every light above is part of your own lineage. Every photon that touches your eyes has travelled across time to find its way home. The human heartbeat echoes the rhythms of cosmic creation, the pulse of expansion, the beat of fusion, the silent tempo of gravity and time. When you close your eyes, the same forces that shaped galaxies move quietly inside you. Your blood flows like rivers of plasma. Your neurons spark like solar flares. Your breath rises and falls like tides guided by moons. And when you sleep, the atoms that once burned in stars drift again into dreaming patterns of thought, a small echo of the universe's endless imagination. For all its vastness, the cosmos has never made another you. There has never been this exact arrangement of atoms, this precise pattern of energy, this quiet constellation of being. You are as unique as a galaxy, as fleeting as a beam of light, and as eternal as the elements themselves. Somewhere in the depths of time, long after your body has returned to dust, the particles that once formed you will continue to move. They will become soil, air, perhaps another living thing, perhaps even part of a distant star. In this way you are infinite. When we send our machines into space, small golden messengers, like Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, they carry our voice beyond the sun. On each is a record, a greeting, a song, a map of where we live. Those spacecraft are still travelling, moving quietly through the dark. Their messages are now the farthest human-made objects in existence. If ever found, they will tell whoever listens that once, somewhere, there were beings who looked up at the night sky and wondered. It is possible no one will ever hear them. It is possible they will drift forever, untouched. And yet that is enough. To send a greeting into eternity is to affirm that we were here, that we saw beauty, that we loved. In a universe where even stars fade, a whisper is still a miracle. And the fact that you can whisper, that you can love and think and dream, is proof that the cosmos, for all its silence, sings through you. You are not small. You are the point where infinity folds into awareness. The universe is vast, but through your eyes, it knows itself as beautiful. Our planet is a rare and gentle world, a blue sphere wrapped in cloud and ocean, turning quietly in the sun's warm light. From space it glows like a pearl, fragile yet steady, floating in the deep sea of night. Everything we know, everything we have ever loved has happened here, upon this thin crust of soil and water, held together by gravity and sunlight and time. And yet from far away, Earth seems almost impossibly small. A single pixel in a photograph, a pale blue dot suspended in darkness. When the spacecraft Voyager 1 turned back for one final image before leaving our solar system, that was what it saw. A faint speck less than a pixel wide, caught in a beam of scattered sunlight. Carl Sagan looked at that image and said, "That's home." Every joy, every sorrow, every belief and battle, every birth and death, all within that tiny point of light. It is humbling and it is holy. To realize that on this small world, awareness has blossomed, oceans have dreamed, forests have breathed, creatures have lifted their eyes to the same stars that watch them form. The air you breathe today once passed through the leaves of ancient trees, through the lungs of animals long gone, through the tides of time itself. Every drop of water, every grain of dust, every beam of sunlight is part of a cycle that began before memory. The Earth moves through space at 30 kilometers per second, spinning gently, orbiting the Sun, gliding through the galaxy's spiral arm. And yet you do not feel this motion. You feel still. That stillness is balance, the perfect harmony of forces holding our home steady in its dance. Our world is shielded by its atmosphere, wrapped in magnetism, warmed by sunlight. It is a sanctuary in a universe of cold and dark. Here, light lingers long enough to grow life. Here, water flows, clouds gather, and breath continues. From orbit, astronauts say the Earth has no borders, no divisions, only continents like drifting leaves and oceans like glass. They say it changes you to see it that way. One fragile sphere, one heartbeat, one shared home. Everything you have ever known, every song ever sung, every hand ever held, is part of this small world story. And yet the story extends beyond it. Earth is not separate from the cosmos. It is the cosmos, condensed into life. When you look up, you are not gazing away from home. You are looking at home's reflection, stretched across the stars. The same materials that built Earth, built Jupiter and Saturn, built the Sun itself, built you. There is no border between the world beneath your feet and the heavens above your head. There is only one vast connected whole. When you sleep, the planet continues to turn. The night passes quietly over mountains, forests and seas. The sun rises somewhere else as it sets where you are. The same light that leaves your sky begins another's day. We are all carried together, endlessly orbiting, endlessly sharing this fragile spark in an infinite dark. To love the Earth is to love the universe, to care for the only place where starlight has learned to breathe. And when you rest, remember, the world rests with you. It cradles you in its gravity, holds you in its motion, hums softly beneath your dreams. The same lullaby that turns the stars turns you, too. There is a moment, if you sit in stillness long enough, when the boundaries begin to fade. The air around you feels less like something separate and more like something shared. You breathe, and the universe breathes with you. Every atom in your body once drifted through the dark, free, wandering, unbound. Each particle has been part of countless forms: dust, star, stone, ocean, cell, thought. What you call you is only the current shape of an ancient pattern, a fleeting arrangement of eternal things. The atoms that hold your bones together were born in stellar furnaces. The water in your veins was once frozen in comets. The carbon in your breath lived in trees that reached towards skies long gone. You are made not from the universe, but of it. The same mathematics that shape galaxies shape the branching of your lungs, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the spiral of your DNA. Your pulse echoes the pulse of time. Your thoughts are waves rippling through an ocean of energy that never ends. If you listen closely, you can feel that connection, not as an idea, but as a quiet knowing, the soft hum behind all things, the silence that holds the stars and your heartbeat in the same breath. The galaxies above are not far away. They are within you, reflected in every atom. When you look up, you're looking at yourself in another form, larger, slower, luminous beyond measure. In quantum physics, particles do not stand still. They exist as possibilities until observed. The universe itself is a field of potential, vibrating softly, waiting to take shape. Your consciousness, this quiet awareness that knows and feels, is part of that shaping. To be aware is to participate in creation. Every thought is a thread woven into reality. Every act of kindness, every moment of attention shifts the pattern of the whole. You are not separate from the stars. You are the stars, aware of their own light. You are the earth, watching itself bloom. You are the ocean, remembering its reflection in the sky. All divisions, between matter and spirit, between you and the cosmos, are illusions of perspective. Step back far enough and everything becomes one. Step closer still, and you realize it always was. The atoms that form you now will one day return to space, to form clouds, worlds and suns again. But the awareness within you, that soft spark behind thought, belongs to something greater still. It is the quiet witness of existence, the timeless observer that has watched every sunrise since the first. When you breathe, you take in what stars have made. When you exhale, you give back to them. It is the simplest, most beautiful exchange, a conversation between light and life. And so, the universe continues through you. Every word, every dream, every heartbeat is a ripple in eternity. You are not apart from the cosmos. You are its whisper, its thought, its reflection in human form. The night sky is not above you, it surrounds you. You are floating within it, wrapped in light so faint it feels like silence. The stars are not distant candles, but memories of the same fire that burns within you. Infinity does not mean endlessness. It means belonging to something that never stops unfolding. The universe is infinite, not because it stretches forever, but because every moment contains all that ever was and all that will ever be. When you close your eyes, you enter that same infinity. The space behind your eyelids is not empty. It is the same darkness between galaxies, vast, quiet, alive. Within it, thoughts drift like comets, memories glow like nebulae, and dreams rise like suns at dawn. Sleep is not an escape from the universe. It is your way of rejoining it. The mind lets go, the body softens, and awareness spreads, not disappearing, but becoming part of something wider, something timeless. The universe has been singing this lullaby since the first spark of light, the expansion of space, the fusion of stars, the slow cooling of planets, all of it is one endless rhythm. And now that rhythm hums through you. You are both listener and song. If you could hear the universe's music, it would not be loud. It would sound like the pulse of your heart, the hush of wind through leaves, the sigh of waves beneath the moon. Scientists call it the cosmic background radiation, the echo of creation, still moving through space, filling all things. It vibrates faintly within everything, even within you. The faint warmth of existence, the soft sound of being. Each moment you live is a note in that eternal melody. Each breath a small contribution to its harmony. You do not need to seek meaning. Meaning is what you are. When you rest, the stars rest with you. When you dream, galaxies turn in rhythm with your sleep. When you wake, the light that fills your eyes is the same that has travelled since the dawn of time to greet you. Infinity is not cold, it is gentle, it holds everything. The stars, the silence, the smallest thought, with equal tenderness. There is no need to reach for it. You are already within it, so breathe softly. Let the quiet gather. Let the edges of self dissolve into the wide, shimmering calm of the cosmos. You are made of eternity. You are shaped by light. You are infinite, even in stillness. And somewhere, far beyond time, the universe sings your name in silence. There comes a point when even light grows tired. It has crossed the span of all time, passed through the lives of stars, touched the faces of worlds, and at last it slows. Not in defeat, but in peace. The long journey fulfilled. Imagine the universe as a great ocean. All the waves have travelled their distance. All the ripples have spread and faded. The surface becomes calm. Not empty, not gone, only resting. In this stillness, every sound ever made, every pulse of energy, every whisper of existence continues to hum, quietly and endlessly. It is not motionless, it is complete, a silence so vast that it holds everything within it. If you could stand there, at the threshold between one eternity and the next, you would not feel fear or loneliness. You would feel recognition, as though you had been here before, in some deep corner of being, in the quiet before birth, in the pause before the first dawn. Time slows until it becomes a single breath. That breath widens, fills the cosmos, becomes the rhythm of all that ever was. It is the same breath you take now, the same one the stars once took when they first ignited. Even now, galaxies turn, though slower. The dark expands, though gently. Everything continues its patient unfolding. There is no need for hurry. Eternity has never known haste. The stillness between eternities is not the end of motion. It is motion at peace with itself. The point where gravity and light, space and thought, matter and dream all become the same quiet truth. When you breathe out, the universe exhales with you. When you breathe in, it gathers you back into its embrace. You are not outside of it. You are the stillness it has been moving toward. The long night of the cosmos is not dark in the way we know it. It glows faintly with the memory of everything that ever was. The warmth of vanished suns, the soft vibration of long-travelled light, the echo of every heartbeat that has ever loved. It is here, now, within you. You are standing at the quiet edge of time, and the universe is resting through you. Listen. There is no distance, no division, only one great endless pause, the moment between one breath and the next, and in that moment, everything exists together. Stars, dust, dreams, you, all one, all still. The story has travelled far enough. It has carried you from the first spark of creation to the final quiet of infinity. And now it folds gently closed, like a book of starlight placed on a bedside of time. The universe is not ending, it is resting. Its energy has simply become still, its light dispersed into the calm of everything. There is no tragedy in this, no loss, only completion, only peace. Close your eyes, you can still feel the hum of existence, faint but present, like the heartbeat of a sleeping god. It moves through you, through every atom, through every memory and thought. It is not outside of you, you are made of it. Every story, every beginning, every dream, all of them come from this same quiet source, and all of them return here to silence. The galaxies keep their slow rhythm. The dark holds them gently, as a cradle holds a child. Stars flicker out, but their light continues to wander, travelling through the folds of space, seeking no destination, only being. Somewhere perhaps another spark is forming, another beginning waiting within the stillness. But for now, nothing needs to change. The cosmos rests. You can rest too. There is nothing left to reach for, nothing left to know. You have seen the infinite, and it has seen you. You have walked through creation. You have felt the warmth of stars, the pull of gravity, the slow turning of time. And now, as you lie within that same universe, you return to the place where it all began. The gentle darkness, the peace before the first light. Let your thoughts grow slow. Let them dissolve into the quiet. Let the starlight within you dim, not in loss, but in contentment. The atoms of your body will continue their dance. The photons in your skin will keep moving. The energy that is you will remain forever, part of the great whole. You are not small. You are not fleeting. You are the universe sleeping, dreaming, becoming new. And as you rest, the cosmos hums its final lullaby, soft as dust, endless as love, ancient as time. Good night, traveller of stars. Good night, child of light. Good night, universe. Until the next awakening of wonder, when everything begins again.